Alrighty, hello. My name is Lotta Snacks. I host the Daily Boost for my community. My community is better known as Love in Action Network. You can find us on the website I'm on. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, just please go check out lovedandlovable.org. For those that are watching the stream, as you can see here, here at lovedandlovable.org, my network has various events that happen on during the day. During the week, I'm sorry, the week to week, we have like events scheduled up till pretty much the end of March that are for sure happening, but this list is fluid and everything changes. Um, the whole point of our daily boost is to encourage, empower, and equip ourselves with knowledge, affirmations, and amongst like other things with the you know tools to get through our day to day. Um, we also the sources that we use are a source called the Seven Chakra Challenge, the 7 Day Chakra Challenge, which Sunday through Saturday we go over the seven chakras: the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart. Yesterday we did the heart. Today we're doing the throat chakra. Tomorrow will be the third eye chakra, and then Saturday, Tara Perillo hosts that. And you can find out more about her at taraperillo.com right here on my screen here. You can find out more about her at taraperillo.com. That's TARAPRIOLO. And she hosts the Daily Boost on Saturdays and Wednesdays. Wednesday was the throat chakra, which is yesterday. Saturday is the crown chakra. Um, and we also use our other sources, 52 weeks of conscious contact. I forgot the full title. What's the full title? 52 weeks of conscious contact, meditations for connecting with God and self, God, self, and others. This is by Melody Beatty. And I will go ahead and start with our throat chakra today, the 7 Day Chakra Challenge. Yeah, the throat chakra is said to be the first of the spiritual chakras. The throat chakra has much to do with our true, authentic voice, where faith and understanding combine. When the throat chakra is out of harmony, we have difficulty speaking our truth or expressing ourselves, feel silenced and judged for what we say, feel out of alignment with who we are, and feel out of touch with our will to live. When the throat chakra is out of harmony, I'm just going to repeat what I said. I feel like I kind of glazed over it pretty fast. We have difficulty speaking our truth or expressing ourselves, feel silenced and judged for what we say, feel out of alignment with who we are, and feel out of touch with our will to live. When the throat chakra is in harmony, our will to live is strong and we are able to follow our dreams. We speak our truth where we say what we mean and mean what we say. We express ourselves easily, creatively, and authentically. Listen to our inner voice and have a balance between silence and speech. The location of the throat chakra is at the front of the base of the neck, at the hollow point of the collarbone. So, like about right here. Only the people on stream can really see me point to the location, but yeah, right in the middle of the pretty much the hollow point in your collarbone, like right in the middle of your neck, that meeting between your two collarbones. The color that is associated with the throat chakra is specifically light blue. The element for the throat chakra is sound. The affirmation, of course, last but not least, well, not last, but the affirmation is I speak for the throat chakra. The glands, which I kind of always gloss over, I feel like, are the thyroid and parathyroid. To go into a little bit more depth, those are a part of the endocrine system within your body, which creates and releases hormones to maintain countless bodily functions. You have more than 50 hormones, and they affect nearly all aspects of your health, directly or indirectly. Examples would be your metabolism, homeostasis, growth and development, sexual function, reproduction, your sleep wake cycle, and your mood. The thyroid gland in specific is a butterfly shaped gland, and it is located at the front of your neck. So, right here, kind of right below your throat chakra. Um, it helps control your metabolism. And if you don't know what metabolism is, that's what um, that's when your food and drink are metabolized or converted into energy for your body. That's what metabolism is. Um, the parathyroid are four. The parathyroid are four pea-sized shaped glands. They're typically behind your thyroid. They can be other places like your chest or something like that, but they're mainly located behind your thyroid. It controls the hormone it releases controls the level of calcium in your blood. Calcium helps with your nerves. It helps your nerves work, helps your muscles contract. So you can move them and everything. Like that's how you move. That's how you're able to move. It helps your blood clot and also helps your heart work properly. So calcium is very important, and you can see how expansive your third eye chakra kind of is involved with your body, mainly or your thyroid, whatever you want to call it. But um, yeah, I feel like I always kind of gloss over the glands, so I thought I'd kind of go into more detail about it. Hey, Starlight, how you doing? How you doing? Love you much. Love you much. Um, the physical body parts that are related to the throat chakra consist of the throat, trachea, neck vertebrae, mouth, teeth, and gums, esophagus, hypothalamus, shoulders, arms, and hands. The life lesson of the throat chakra is to speak and receive truth. Physical dysfunctions that deal with the throat chakra or involved with the throat chakra would be raspy or sore throat, mouth ulcers, gum difficulties, TMJ, stiff neck, scoliosis, swollen glands, and you guessed it, thyroid problems. Um, Mental and or emotional issues consist of strength of will, personal expression, following one's dreams, using personal power to create choice and capacity to make decisions, addiction, judgment, criticism, and faith. Possible causes of energy block are difficulty in expressing oneself, withholding or swallowing words, or suppressing creative talents. Crystals that are involved with the throat chakra are turquoise, blue kyanite, aquamarine, celestite, or celestite, I think it's called. I might have pronounced it wrong. Iolite, sodalite, and lapis lazuli. So that was some blurbs about the throat chakra. So now we'll get into our reading of the day by Melody Beatty, 52 Weeks of Conscious Contact. We are on week 9, and week 9 is the whole theme of week 9 are the basics. And for the daily boost every week, for Melody Beatties, there's always a theme, the main theme of the week, and there's always usually like a different I don't know what to call it, sub theme of the day. Like there's an action for today, day 5. Tomorrow there'll be gratitude focus. Yesterday there was an inventory focus, but anyway, I'll go ahead and get into this blurb by Melody Beatty and begin reading. Day 5. What are the rules for taking care of myself? A woman asked me. What are the rules for taking care of myself? I started to answer her by giving her a list. Then I stopped myself. The first rule is to learn to trust yourself. I feel like this should have been talked about Friday, but we'll talk about trusting yourself a little bit more Friday too. Um, the first rule is to learn to trust yourself. I feel like I'm definitely gonna write this down for tomorrow because the first rule of taking care of yourself, the first rule of loving yourself, choosing to love yourself is learning to trust yourself. Which is not an easy task to do by any means. The action of the day is to make a list of your basics, then check in and see whether you're neglecting yourself in any area. Yes, Starlight, you are back to trusting yourself again. This is true. This is true. And I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I'm glad you're back to trusting yourself. Again, sorry. Make a list of your basics, then check in and see whether you're neglecting yourself in any area. When you're uncertain, ask yourself what you need to do to take care of yourself, or ask your higher power, whatever your higher power may be. Like I said, I didn't say this today, but we do not care about your religious affiliation here. This is a safe space. We don't care about what you do believe in, what you don't believe in. Just ask your higher power, whatever that may be. You might not believe in a higher power. Believe in yourself then, or ask yourself. Ask yourself what you need to do to take care of yourself, or ask your higher power. Then listen and act on what you hear. Sometimes what we most need to do is so obvious and simple, we can't see it. It may also be what we're resisting the most. I'm going to say that again because I feel like that's very important to the theme of today too. Sometimes what we most need to do is so obvious and simple, we can't see it. It may also be what we're resisting the most. It may also be what we're resisting the most. It's a tough pill to swallow. Remember, if you're going through deep grief or a time of intense change, you may need more sleep than usual. I kind of take that as, it's you might need more sleep than usual. You might need more rest than action. When you're going through a time of deep grief, or you're changing your routine, you may need to rest more than what you originally thought. And I know some of us get caught up in the go. I need this now. I need to do this now. But sometimes the reasons why we're not getting to where we need to get to is because we're not taking a step back and seeing what's not working, because we're so caught up in doing, so caught up in the action that we forget that patience is an action too. Resting is it might resting might conserve energy, but it is an active decision. You have to decide, as in like make that action to rest, or take a step back and think about what you need. And sometimes what you need to do is so obvious and simple that you can't see it because you don't believe, what's right in front of your own eyes. It may also be what we're resisting the most. That's why it says make a list of your basics. Then check in and see whether you're neglecting yourself in any area. What are your basics? Well, I mean, I'm guessing this is more the lines talking about kind of like your basic needs, or your basic kind of foundations, like what you believe in, like what what makes up you. What is the basic foundation that you think makes up you, or what you want in your life? Where you want to see yourself? Make a list of your basics and check in to see whether you're neglecting yourself in any area. Are you loving yourself? Are you, taking showers? Are you brushing your teeth? Are you treating everybody the way they want to be treated? Are you being a hypocrite? Are you neglecting yourself in any area? Now, while I play, also before I get into game mode and start playing the little Nightmares DLC, you can also, for any spiritual inquiries, you can check out Starlight Mystic Botanica. I can't speak today. StarlightMysticBotanica.com. She is another member of Love and Action Network. She's also my girlfriend, and she does readings and amongst other things. You can go ahead and check out her site. Her site also has her Instagram and TikTok on there, but her TikTok is Starlight underscore Mystic. And then on Twitter, which she holds the space Waiting to Exhale, which she will be hosting tomorrow with Poppy Wada, which Poppy Wada's handle is at PoppyWata33, which is PAPIWATA 33. You can find them on the X spaces. Again, Starlight Mystics X space or Twitter space. Her handle is at Starlight Mystic, except it's with a K. There's no space in between or anything like that. I kind of have all of the handles up above here, including the Casual Coach at Beyond the Guru on TikTok, Sunflower Flishel on TikTok. It's spelled a little different. It's SVNFLWR official. Then there's at Andre in the Flow, which is, last but not least, our CEO of Love and Action Network. So, yeah, please, go check us out at loveandlovable.org, and also those social links if you want to find out more about us and the Daily Boost and things like that. I am going to get into some Little Nightmares gameplay. But while I do that, I want to talk about give me 1 second. Before I do that, I had pulled a card of the day, which is a tarot card of the day. I'm spiritual. Surprise. I pulled a card of the day, and the card of the day I got was the Eight of Swords, so that will kind of be my main theme to talk about while I play this DLC for Little Nightmares. A question that I definitely want to pose today is, have you ever felt trapped or stuck, either by circumstances or, give me 1 second, what the heck? Okay, there we go. Have you ever felt trapped or stuck either by circumstances, the past, or your own internal fears of uncertainty? I'm gonna say that again because I feel like I butchered the crap out of that. Trying to get my setup here for the game ready. I'm just sitting here. I might be sitting here for a second trying to read this. Okay. I'll say the question again because I feel like I rambled on a little too long after that. Have you ever felt trapped or stuck, either by circumstances, the past, or your own internal fears of uncertainty? I mean, that's definitely been me for sure. I mean, just talk about something recent. I mean, streaming, doing the Daily Boost. I've definitely felt, stuck. Kind of being like, confident in myself, like what I'm capable of doing. And, you know, that's added some pressure for me, just a little bit. And, you know, I doubt my own talents sometimes. Kind of like how I did not know how to throw that toilet paper there, but I couldn't remember how to play the game for a second, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, I definitely have experienced my fair share of feeling stuck or trapped in a situation. I mean, I was depressed for 20 years and felt like I was stuck here on Earth without, you know, talent, a purpose, nothing at all. I felt like there was nothing here for me to really accomplish, nothing that I could, you know, myself do that anyone else couldn't. I mean, that is kind of the case. Like there's, you know, there's, I don't know how to explain it. There's always something that, you know, you can do better than others, but there's always going to be somebody better than you at it. I mean, for the most part, for the most part. I don't know how to stop that from happening. Because the funny thing is, when I put this in, oh, somehow I didn't die. We'll take it. We'll take it because I fell pretty far. Oh no, I see him. I see him on right now, but it's if I put it in a full screen. I felt trapped before, but only. Starlight says I felt trapped before, but only to realize I'm not. I'm not. It was just holding me back. And yeah, your fears and your doubts, they definitely can hold you back. I forgot. It's the same button. There we go. But yeah, uncertainty and your internal fears are all created, you know, by yourself. That's what I kind of have learned over the years. Like, you create your situation or what you believe. You create that. That's just the fact of the matter. Your emotions, your like you know how you say, like, you know, this person made me feel that way. That's kind of your own doing, because nobody can make you feel a certain way. Like, we say that, but nobody can make you feel any type of way. You've chosen to believe that and give them that power. And that's how that works. I know that might be hard to stomach and like hard to be like, well, no, because their actions made me feel this way, right? And it's, I mean, the answer, to be honest, is no. Like, nobody can make you feel any type of way. You're gonna have to figure out how to make a good jump. I wonder if I can push this a little bit more. Probably not. Maybe I should practice that jump, or maybe I should move this further. Actually, let's down the water. But yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of times where I felt trapped or stuck. I mean, if you've ever felt trapped or stuck, have you also... Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to push this suitcase to a pretty favorable position. I think that'll do. I hope. If you haven't or have, ever felt that way, have you ever have you ever felt like, separated or like, separateness? Or have you ever felt like you didn't fit in, um, and you're unable to express yourself freely? Have you ever felt like you haven't been able to fit in anywhere and you weren't able to express yourself the way you wanted to? Oh, I figured it out. Somehow, somewhere, I did it. Do not have a flashlight of any kind, though. Oh, yes, I do. I know I remembered picking this up. But I remember as a kid, I didn't really. I'd say even through like as a kid up to high school and maybe even beyond that, I never really felt like I fit in. I mean, for 20 years, I felt like I haven't really been able to express myself freely, or just because either I felt like I didn't deserve to, or I was afraid of, what people would think of me. I'm afraid of, um, you're afraid of, saying the wrong thing sometimes too. And I've always been tried to be very careful with my words ever since like growing up. And, I don't think I wish I could, go back in time and tell myself, I already knew that, people are not going to, like you just for me existing. Like, my mom taught me that as a kid, like very early on. But for some reason, I just didn't want to, I don't know, accept the fact that people are going to judge me, but like and that was going to affect my happiness. Other people, judging me for, what I liked or what I talked about, what I did know. So like I was a very quiet person because of that, especially growing up. And I mean, that's changed a lot. I never really thought I had much to talk about, but here I am on the Daily Boost, mumbling and stumbling along, not really getting to the point, but I'm here. But this part of doing this and streaming, doing D&D tomorrow, hosting my first D&D session as a DM tomorrow. Like, all that is just the culmination of me finally, facing fears, and trying to be like more open with myself about like, what I want to do, and like, what I have fun doing, what I could have fun doing, actually trying things that are like outside of the box. For me, just trying to do things that I've enjoyed watching other people do, but trying to do it myself. And, finally choosing to love myself is kind of what has led me here. And, facing all the things that I don't like about myself, or that I, feel like I can do better on, realizing that I'm in control of all of these things, has helped me a lot. Like, we're in control of the way you can't control other people's reactions to your, and it'll be a homebrew, Starlight. It will be a homebrew, so it'll be simplified, as simplified as I can pretty much get. So you guys don't have to focus too much on like you just have to focus on really how to play. I mean, I guess you have to focus on how to play anyway, but I didn't want you to be too involved with, the intricacies of the specific world of D&D, so I'd rather just create a whole new one and kind of make my own rules behind it, the combat system and everything, how your characters work, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Anyway, like doing things like D&D and stuff, like that's overcoming a huge fear of mine, because I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting something I've done out there that I hope I can be, proud about and stuff like that. but my cat, hold on, my cat wants to get out, and he's gonna complain once I close the door and let him out too. So he's just gonna have to stay outside. He's gonna have to suck it up. Give me 1 second. All right, I am back. But yeah, I mean, I've decided for myself that I want to do better. I want to, well, not just do better. I don't want to, keep fearing what could happen. Instead, or wondering what could happen if I don't move. Starlight says, "Great, now he's gonna annoy me and Lola." Hey, you gotta take him for now. I'm sorry, you gotta take him for now. You gotta take him off my hands. You gotta take him off my hands. Take him away. But yeah, when I decided I was going to love myself, and I want to take back control of my life. Because the reason why I fell into my depression, and I've done some things, that I'm not, proud of, regarding the 2 cats I used to own. I just didn't really feel like I had any control, and I really didn't feel like I had control over my life and what I believed in, what I thought of myself, who I was as a person. I didn't feel like I had any control. And your reality, what you make of it, what you believe, really becomes what it is. And because I hated myself, I was spreading that hate to the things I loved, the people I loved. And that's something I was listening to Wayne Dyer, the Dyer being Dyer, today in the rave, for Love and Action Network. We were in a rave, which is just a viewing party platform. It's an app. And we were listening to Wayne Dyer, and he was speaking, and he was talking about how what you put out there, like you can't give something that you don't have. If you don't have love for yourself, you can't give love to anybody else. And I thought it was very possible to do that, like hate myself, but also love somebody else. I everybody told me that wasn't the case. It's not it, and I'm like, yeah, it is. Like I can easily love somebody else and hate myself. I can that's simple. That's easy thing to do. I can do that. But the reality is, hating myself caused me to do some stupid and terrible things. And really, like I'm telling you guys, choose to love yourself, please, because you are going to spread, you're going to spread what you give. If you think just, hating yourself is just going to affect you, you're incorrect, because hating yourself changes your whole demeanor, your like everything. It changes how you think about life, how you view life, all of that. When you choose to love yourself, you can love others. You hate yourself, it's easy to hate somebody else. I mean, I hated myself, and I feel like I didn't hate anybody, but hating myself caused me to do things that would make people feel like I hated, either, I didn't like hate them, but like, do things that were hateful, I guess I would say. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Like when you don't accept like, like compliments or things like that, or you don't like see yourself in a huge light, you start to take things for granted, like just the little things. And the little things are important to keep, ingrained in you, or else you start to lose sight of things, and that's when your reality starts changing. Another question I have is, are you finding yourself making excuses for why you can't move forward? Why you're holding everything inside and feeling powerless to spark change? Are you finding yourself making excuses for why you can't move forward? Why you're holding everything inside and feeling powerless to spark change? Nice, tell me 444 444. Yeah, foundation, the expression of foundation, 3 4s. Yeah. Foundation and order. 4 is also a number for order as well, for all my numerology nerds out there. But yeah, are you finding yourself making excuses for why you can't move forward and why you held everything inside? Everything being all your emotions. You're not exercising your emotions, you're just holding them back. You're just swallowing them just for them to implode on somebody else that you didn't want them to implode onto, or just some random passerby, some innocent person who didn't really deserve that, and you just implode on them. Or, trauma dump on somebody else, which pushes them away. Are you feeling powerless to spark change? I absolutely. In the last year, I remember all I kept asking for, like, from the universe, from my ancestors, from my spiritual team, is, motivation, my motivation and passion. I'm like, why can't I find my motivation and passion? And my motivation and passion, it's, in other words, it comes from me, but I was asking for, somebody else, the universe, whoever, to help me find it or help me, discover it. And that's just not possible. it like, they can lead the horse to water. They can lead me to the water, but they can't make me drink. They can't make me, have that motivation and passion. You can lead me to the thing that will give me motivation and passion, or you can lead me to, a road that can give me motivation and passion. It don't mean that I have to take it or I'm going to choose to take it. And that's the thing I wasn't realizing. A lot of times we just kind of look at the road or look at the water and we don't drink from it. And we go like, what is this? And it's like, it's water. You asked to be given water, and here it is. But for some reason we don't want to drink with it because it's not Fiji water. It's not spring water. It's just, it's just tap water. But because there's no more water, there's no other water in the area. Now, I do love my Fiji water, but just for example's sake, sometimes the water don't look like what we expected. The water that we're shown. And you have to accept that sometimes you're gonna have to drink from that water. And Starlight says, "Don't come for me and my Fiji." Yeah, I like Fiji water too. You know me. We be drinking it in this household. So, but yeah, all those questions. The answer is kind of all the same. The questions for, have you ever felt trapped or stuck? Either by your circumstance, the past, or your own internal fear of uncertainty. Have you ever felt, separateness? You didn't fit in and you're not unable to express yourself freely. Are you finding yourself making excuses for why you can't move forward? Why you're holding everything inside and feeling powerless to spark that change? The answer's all the same. The way forward starts when you reclaim your power. It starts by taking a small step toward your desire. Some of us always, I say it all the time, everybody gets in relationships, everybody is in life for the sprint rather than the marathon. Some of you guys are so focused on the finish line that you forgot that you never even passed the starting line. You just entered the race without passing the starting line. So when you finish, it's not going to be, in regulation. It's not going to count because you didn't start at the starting line. You just saw a race and you joined it. You're not even a part of the race. You can't even win it. You're not even a participant in that race, but you put yourself in there and you're looking for the finish line and wondering why you can't keep up with the rest of these people that conditioned for this race, that prepared for this race, and you find yourself, falling over, tripping over, gasping for air, looking for water where there isn't, because you just joined a race that you weren't prepared for. You didn't even start at the starting line. You didn't even prepare before you came to the starting line. You ignored it completely. Stop trying to take big leaps. Stop trying to take giant footsteps. Stop thinking that every time you wake up, you have to run. You have to make this huge jump in your life. Realistically, some days you're not going to make any progress at all. Some days you want to shoot for progress every day, but some days you might literally take a step back, and you have to realize that that's okay. If you take a step back, sometimes you need to rest and not take any steps. Life is a marathon, not a race, and there's going to be plenty of obstacles in your way in this race that they did not advertise at first. They did not advertise all the obstacles that are in your race. They didn't. They did not advertise all the obstacles that are in the race in front of us. You got to reclaim your power. I thought for the longest time I had no control over my life, but you have the utmost control. I now realize that I was going to college to not make myself happy, but to make my mom happy, just because I felt like college meant like I was being successful, or like, I was moving towards success, and there was nothing I really even wanted to do or knew I wanted to do. So I really didn't even want to be at school in the first place, because I'm like, I don't know why I'm here anyway. I don't even really want to complete gen eds to just, wait around and figure out what I want to study or what I want to do, so school ain't for everybody, and that's okay too. Starlight says, I have to not hold limitations for my dreams and expect a specific path to our destination. And that's hard to do, to not hold limitations for your dreams, but also, expect a specific path to wherever you're going. That's hard to do, to not put limitations on 1, the universe, 2, yourself, 3, anybody else. That's hard to do. And I know people, social media makes it very hard to be like, why can't I do that? Why can't I have this easy road? Why can't, my life look like this? And social media has created this new problem to where everybody feels like their life has to look like, somebody else's. And you only got one life, and it's yours. And you can only create, happiness for yourself. Nobody else can give it to you. You can look for happiness from somebody else all you want to, but if you don't find the things that make you happy in this lifetime, you're not going to be happy. And that's the tough part about it, and that's a tough thing to realize. You don't want to be complacent with what makes you happy. You really don't. And some of us are sitting in unhappy situations because it's comfortable, and that's all we know. Like, we've grown comfortable being upset. We've grown comfortable being depressed. We've grown comfortable hating ourselves. And that's become our comfort. What we need to strive to do is become comfortable being uncomfortable, because getting out of our comfort zone will help us grow. You're going to make mistakes. You're always going to make mistakes. And I know everybody's heard this 10,000 times. You're always going to make mistakes. But, to really embody that and to believe it is another thing, Have faith and be patient with yourself. This process takes patience and perseverance, but you can do it. Patience has been the hardest thing for me to learn. Since I've been alive, patience has been the hardest thing for me to learn. I know I stopped playing the game, but I just feel like I need to get this out, especially for the podcast, because I don't want them sitting here listening to me playing the game. So I'm sorry to those on YouTube or people who are watching this, not recorded and they're like, why the heck isn't this idiot playing the game? Sorry, I'm doing the daily boost. I got to focus on what I'm saying. I'm not used to this whole streaming thing and having been able to play and think and organize my thoughts. Maybe D&D helped me with that. I don't know, but I just need more practice at it. But yeah, it takes patience to perseverance. We were just in Waiting to Exhale yesterday, and our newest member in Love and Action Network, Gabby, she had just said she, is working on her bachelor's in, I forgot what it is, paralegal. I think paralegal something. But that's huge. Like the amount of I said I couldn't really describe the words for it because it's definitely it's more than something she should be proud about herself for. It was Poppy had a good word for it. I can't remember what it was. It was like satisfied or, well, not satisfied. I can't think of the word right now. But it was just a great accomplishment to be able to do that. It's a great accomplishment. And I didn't want to take away from her accomplishment, by saying, how much, I wish school would have worked out for me and I could have, put more motivation or found my motivation, because that's just not my path. It's not. It's come and gone. Maybe someday, maybe one day, maybe I will go back to school. Who knows where life will take me, but right now life is taking me on a different path. I'm trying not to fight it too much. I'm trying to enjoy it. And that's another thing. Life's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to enjoy the journey more than anything. You have to take in the good and the bad, because it's not easy. This stuff is not easy. It's not easy being here. It's not. There's going to be days where you don't even want to, get out of bed, let alone wake up. But you got to find what motivates you and what brings you happiness so that you can, get to the place that you want to go to at the end of the road, get to your destination. And sometimes you need other people. Like, most of the time we need other people to help us get to our destination. Most of the time we need other people in our car with us when we get to the destination. But make sure the people that are in your car that are going with you to this destination, they have keys too. Make sure that the people that are in your car have keys too. So when you make it to your destination and you do everything in your power to do what you need to do that makes you happy, and you make it to your destination, your end goal, your dreams, whatever that may be, when you make it there, you make sure they have keys for themselves so they can drive their own car to get to where they need to go and get, finish their dreams. Because you can't give them their happiness either. They can't give you your happiness, and you can't give them theirs. So it's my girlfriend's stupid. It's hard. Life is hard. It is. And it's not going to get any easier. The affirmation today is I speak. So we really need to start speaking on ourselves. Stop speaking that all the I can'ts, all the I hate, you're going to attract what you put out. I know they say opposites attract, but I think that's kind of played out. Obviously, obviously a magnet, connects. Sure, opposite charges, sure. But when it comes to life, opposites do not attract. When it comes to life, maybe relationships, opposites attract. Possibly, but you got to find some common ground somewhere. That's the problem. The common ground is the magnet, the magnet itself, in between, the in between everything, but the metal between. But when it comes to the world around you and the people and the things that you want, That's what you're gonna get. Now, when it's another thing is when they say opposites attract. Um, oh, I see. Starlight. Okay, Starlight sent me a little blurb to read. Power is in the tongue. Stop saying you're tired all the time, you're broke, you're depressed, etc. And start saying you're grateful. Start manifesting multiple streams of income and start speaking life into yourself. Start speaking life into yourself. I know the whole affirmations and manifesting thing seems, corny and play it out and like it doesn't work. But I think what sounds cornier is staying in your depression, staying in your bad situation, staying in that dark place when it's completely controllable and you have all the power in the world to get out. Because the reason why I do this, the reason why I'm standing on this stage, the reason why I've started, getting uncomfortable and trying to, become uncomfortable being uncomfortable is because I'm trying to do this for the people who don't have control over their lives, who are not able to, take control over their lives. The people over there, in Gaza, ceasefire now, I mean, it's just sad the death of so many people, and the world really hasn't batted an eye. And we always talk about how people don't really worry about things when it has nothing, quote unquote, nothing to do with them. But if the shoe was on the other foot, they would be asking for help all the same. And that's why I'm like, it doesn't have anything to do with you till it does. But I think the human rights of everybody has to deal with everybody, because it could be you. It could have been you. So, I would have thought, respecting human beings and their lives would be an easy, given. But people who are greedy and war, land, money changes all that apparently. So, innocent women and children die for no reason. Again, ceasefire now. And there's no reason for that. And you should be able to speak up against that. It's just a shame. It really is. You have to. It's like I said, manifestations, affirmations. They might sound corny. They might sound like they don't work, because those bad days when they're really bad, those affirmations and stuff, they don't do junk. But I think it's lame to stay in a situation that you have full control of. And that's what I was doing for about 20 years, without even really realizing it. And I wish I could break myself out of that reality sooner, but it's hard, especially when you choose to stay there. And I didn't really know how to get myself out other than believing in what I believed in, the hate for myself and everything. But you got to start speaking over yourself. What is holding you back from meaningful change? That's kind of like the reflection of the day. What is holding you back from making meaningful change? That meaningful change is meaning like something meaningful to you. Like what would be a meaningful change for you? Would it be a new job? I understand that the goal is always, I need money. We can never have enough money. And I know money equals happiness to most people's minds, but there's been plenty of billionaires, millionaires, people who have had money who have also committed suicide as well. So I've never really seen money as happiness. Sometimes money equals more problems depending on who you're around. But Um, it's really a sad affair. Um, the whole thing with like, if I had money, I'd be, happy. All my problems would go away. But some of us are in situations where, like, we're either in, a situation with like a friend or like, family and stuff. And I don't think money would fix that problem. I don't know. Some people, money really wouldn't just, make them happy and fix all their problems, but that's just not the reality of life. It's not. So you got to find other something else that makes you happy. Probably. Money is very scarce. You're not going to be able to take your money when you go. You're not. Another thing that Wayne Dyer had said that I want to pick up on, that I wanted to mention, is the ancestors to every action is a thought. The ancestor to every action is a thought. And by the way, money will, kind of like how Starlight said, money will come after you choose to love yourself. And sometimes you just get lucky and you run into money, but how you keep it and how you keep getting it, is speaking things, speaking it as well as believing it. But the ancestor to every action is a thought. Not a thought as in THOT, a thought as in, your mind, an idea, a thought. Before you make any action, there's a thought. And most of those thoughts before an action are usually what could go wrong. The possibility, the fear, the possibility of something not working out, the thought before the action. Should I really do this? Is this gonna work out for me? Is this gonna be a waste of time? But if you also know that if the ancestor to every action is a thought, what I figure is the ancestor to change, it's got to be a voice, right? Speaking. Answer to change has to be your voice, right? If the ancestor to action is a thought, the ancestor to change would be a voice, right? Speech. Something along those lines. So while we're always focused on what this action will result in, we're thinking, the fear of it, just know that the change begins, when you speak about it. Black History Month, we're on the last day of Black History Month, but, change for, African American culture really didn't happen until people started speaking about it. And then those thoughts, after speaking about it and realizing, led to action. First you speak on it, then you take action. Because, you're always in a game of speaking and thinking. That's how we learn. We think and we speak. That's just basic, That's how you learn languages, literally. That's how you learn how to walk. That's how you learn. Like, you see it, you hear it, boom, bada bing, bada boom. 1 + 1 is 2. Action and change. The ancestors for action and change are thought and voice. What are you going to speak on yourself today? What you can do prayer, you can do affirmations, you can do whatever you want to call it, but you better voice it. All these, you better control these, thoughts before you make an action. Because while you're always thinking you're never going to, make the basketball team or pass school. You're never going to have over a 2.0 GPA. Like, you're not gonna, like, you gotta speak it for yourself. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it first. You gotta believe it. Then you gotta speak it. You gotta say it. You gotta own what you want. Usually when we're at our lowest is when we start dreaming. We want this, we want that. When you're on the opposite side of the spectrum is usually, when you want the other. When you're so high up, you got, you're doing well and stuff, like you don't want, to go back down. But, usually when you, I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling at this point. I'm not even making coherent sense. But yeah, before I ramble even more on and sound like a moron, I'm going to, I guess, close the Daily Boost, close it off right now. Thanks to all that were watching. I might play some League of Legends or something, some TFT. I've been playing that. I don't know, Little Nightmares has been cool and stuff, but I don't know. I really need to make more clips and stuff for social media and stuff, but I don't know. This is just proof that I'm, I have my days too, because, I'm just kind of unsure of myself. I am unsure of, what I can do. I'm unsure of, are my words, can my words reach people? Can, that really make a difference in someone else's lives? The whole reason why I'm doing this is to, help somebody else and to, show somebody they're not alone, empower, equip, and encourage them to get through their day to day, as our mission at Love in Action Network. I don't know. I'm trying to speak it more to myself. Like for me, like I'm going to get better at this streaming thing, speaking publicly, getting my thoughts together, because I'm not used to being in my thoughts and being able to articulate them easily and kind of go through them. I usually get stuck. I'm a terrible storyteller because I used to not talk all the time, and I used to just always be in my head, so my mind goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour sometimes, and I'm not able to focus. Sometimes I get off track and things like that, so I try not to be, but it's hard. Yeah, I've chosen for myself that I want to do better. I want to choose to love myself, and because I've chosen to love myself, there's really no reason to hate anybody else or like wish ill on anybody. There's no reason for that. Everybody has their own path. Everybody struggles. Everybody believes in what, they believe in. You just don't have to push that on somebody else. You really don't. Because we as humans don't know jack squat about anything. We do not know the be all end all. We can believe in whatever we want to believe, but regardless, it's probably not. We will never have all the information that we probably need to understand the world around us. That's just how it is. But yeah, the reflection of the day is, what is holding you back from making meaningful change? What was holding me back from making meaningful change, to answer that, was myself. I was holding myself back from making meaningful change because I chose to hate myself, and I chose to stay in my dark place. I chose my dark place as my comfort space, as my what is it called? What do I usually call it? My dark space as I'm drawing a blank. Safe space. There we go. Safe space. You don't want your dark space to become your safe space. That's when you've gone too far. You will not be collecting 200 when you pass go. None of that will be happening. You don't want to be in the spot to where your dark place doubles as your safe space, because you will never get out. Ever. You have to decide to be honest, open, and willing with yourself to accept the fact that you do have weaknesses and you will make mistakes. Life's going to rear its ugly head with its obstacles, its endless obstacles in your way. Things are going to go wrong. You have to accept that. You have to accept that you control what you can control, but the things you can't control, you need to accept the fact that you can't control those things. Write down your basic needs, what you want out of life. Make sure they're, I don't want to limit you and say make sure they're realistic, but you have to look at them and say, you have to really decide and like look at them and say, can you really, are you able to make this happen? And you know whether or not you're able to make what your needs or what you want out of life happen. You know more than anybody whether you can make it happen. But if you want to make it happen, you got to make a decision. First and foremost, you have to take that first step. Like I said, I didn't expect me to be sitting up here streaming the Daily Boost, doing any of this. Starting being a DM, a dungeon master, a DM for a D&D session, like leading one. I didn't expect me to create a show called Late Night Sex and talk football all year long about football with my co-host Tara Priolo. I didn't expect any of that. I still, I'm looking for that motivation and passion that I want. I've just finally decided to start enjoying the journey that's going to take me there. And that's kind of what I was missing in my life. That's what was stopping me from making meaningful change, is because I wasn't enjoying the journey. I wanted the sprint every day. Even though I've already been through a marathon, I'm still gasping for air every day. And I know I still got more to go, but I wanted the sprint for some reason, knowing that I still have countless laps to make. But for some reason, we feel like we want the sprint. We want everything right now. The instant gratification. Humans, it's built in our nature as humans. It is. It really is. But the affirmation today is I speak. So at least start with speaking it into existence. Start by speaking it into existence, what you want. And what I wanted, what I've started speaking to existence is like, I want to find my motivation and my passion. And just enjoying life again. And I mean, what really feels like the first time, to be honest, enjoying life. And trying to enjoy the journey, which, it gets harder every day to truly enjoy life. It does. It's only become easier because I've chosen to love myself and try to be patient with myself, give myself grace, and be real with myself. I've always been able to be real with myself, but sometimes I beat myself up. I tear down the whole house. It's okay to Do maintenance on your house. It's okay to check your walls, if they're reinforced and everything, but you don't have to tear down the whole house. You don't have to tear yourself down to get to where you need to go, because if you tear yourself down, you're always going to have to build it back up. But if you keep tearing it back down, you're never going to build it up again. It's never going to be a full house. You're never going to be full if you keep tearing yourself down. Don't do that to yourself. I think I'm done rambling. I think. Yeah, there's not really much more I have to say other than please check out my network at lovedandlovable.org. There's various things on there like coaching sessions, song coaching, life coaching, all that stuff on there. You can join our Telegram. You can see our Halo, see events. You can also see, events on the homepage of lovedandlovable.org. But Halo has more detailed events. It usually has updated events faster. Kind of like, the D&D session for tomorrow isn't on the front page of the calendar, but I made it like last week, so we made a lot of those events were like put up before February even ended, so there's that. I'm sitting here like, is there anything else? I mean, there's really nothing I haven't talked about already. Tomorrow it's gonna be same time, same place. 5 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Friday we'll be going over the third eye chakra. And also the D&D session starts tomorrow, as well as Waiting to Exhale, hosted by Starlight Mystic, who you can find on TikTok at Starlight Mystic Starlight Mystic on TikTok. And then on Twitter, you find her under Starlight Mystic, but the Mystic is with the K at the end. The C at the end of Mystic, there's a K. That's on the X or Twitter Spaces, where they host it. And the other host, her co-host, is Poppy Wada. That's what he goes by at Love in Action Network, and also on Twitter and all the other social medias. Poppy Wada 33, which is spelled PAPIWATA 33. And that'll be tomorrow after the Daily Boost. And that will be at 5:30 Central Time, 6:30 Eastern, I believe. So those are the events tomorrow specifically. Check out, my co-host at terrapriolo.com. I'll show the window right here with her. This one is starlightbotanica.com. This is the website on stream that I'm showing right now. Again, her Instagram and TikTok are also there on the site. If you're interested in readings or, wanting to book spells or things like that, you're interested in the spiritual, check out starlightmysticbotanica.com. My co-host has many different titles. But you can find her at terrapriolo.com. That's TARAPRIOLO.com. And our CEO, Andre in the Flow, better known as Dr. Flow, can be found on any social media at Andre in the Flow. And his Love Experience, which is a concert that he holds, you can contact him and get booking with him through the site. You can check that out on there. He has demos and everything on there. Tara and Dr. Flo are also music coaches, and Tara is also pregnant. She's going to be having a baby soon, which we're very, very excited about. We're very excited about that. But I think that's it for mentions. I mentioned Sunflower and the Casual Coach Beyond the Guru as well. You can find them at TikTok. Sunflower being spelled SVNFLWR official on TikTok. And then the Casual Coach on TikTok is at Beyond the Guru. Beyond the Guru. Guru's being spelled GURU. And then last but not least, me. You can find me anywhere on the social medias at Lotta Snacks 5. At Lotta Snacks 5. That being LOTTA Lotta, and then Snacks 5. There's no space. There's nothing else in there. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty bad at starting and ending as well as the middle. I'm getting better at it, but anyway, thank you all for coming, and all those who are listening, either now, later down the line. I don't know how long. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you being here. You are loved and lovable. And I will catch you guys tomorrow or whenever next time you see me or anybody on Love in Action Network, because I kind of fly around. But you guys have a great rest of your day, and you are loved and lovable. All right. Peace.